Okay. All righty. We're recording now. Okay, you guys. Thank everybody for joining us. Some people are probably going to tune in a little late, but the purpose of this is to make sure that you guys have a clear understanding of how 20 and 30 days works. Um, 20 and 30 days, I'm really passionate about it because I know it works. It's something that I have personally done from experience. It's pretty much how I recruit, and it helped us as a team become a diamond. When I was an IE, we were trying to hit executive diamond, and this is a training that I stumbled across. We tried the social media blitz, and we incorporated the 20 and 30 at the same time. So this definitely works. It's not easy, but it works. It's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone. It's going to require you to find time that you don't even have, and you're just going to have to do what's required to make it happen. A lot of people are on this line today that may not complete it. You know, the numbers show that only about 20% of you are going to get through this, but we're that all of you get through it. So what we're going to do today is, instead of just sending you a video and having you watch it on your own, we're going to watch it together, and then we're going to stop it when we have certain points where we feel like we need to touch on it and help you understand how it applies to our business. We're going to stop it, and then I may ask somebody on the panel to kind of explain how it's working for them. So this is going to be very interactive. If you have any questions, post it in the chat, not in the Q&A, but post it in the chat, and then we will address your questions when we get a chance to. We're not going to drag this out. This is not going to be more than 2 hours, but we want to make sure it's professional, so that we're able to share this with future partners, okay? All right, so this is your panelists here of your leadership. We have Tasha Williams there, National Executive. We have India Hughes, International Executive. We have Robin Fox, National Executive. We have Miss Mama D, Diane Freeman, National Executive. We also have Jasmine, well, let me get it right, JC Oliver, International Executive. We also have LaQuincy Allen, National Executive. And we have Alyssa down there, who is an international executive with the company. So you guys, this is your leadership for today. Please, if you have any questions for any of them individually, post it in the chat and then they'll respond, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get started with the video, and then I'll stop it as we go along. But this first video, day one, is about preparation. With the 20 and 30, we're teaching you how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. And you won't be successful if you don't prepare first. And a lot of people think, okay, I can recruit 20 people in 30 days and it's simple. No, it's not simple. You got to get your family's buy-in. You have to get your job's buy-in. You have to be able to do certain things and put certain things in place so that you're not distracted. Because all it takes is one little thing to knock you off. I can't tell you how many times I attempted to do this and then my son ran in the room. So you got to be able to prepare first. So today is all about preparation. So have your pen and paper in place, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm already sharing, it looks like. All right, so here we go.
Well, hello and welcome to How to Recruit 20 People in 30 Days and still get a ton of customers along the way. I'm really excited that you made the decision to get this home study course. Over 5 modules, I'm going to guide you on step-by-step the importance of fulfilling this project and making this happen, number one. Number two, the mindset necessary in order to kind of get your mind ready to be able to go and complete the task. And 3, the strategy, the skills and the strategy necessary in order to be able to help you make it happen, okay? Now, over these 5 modules, this is module number 1, but we're going to be talking about preparation in this module. Second module is going to be filling the funnel. How do you get so many appointments scheduled in a short period of time that you're busy and you're moving towards your goal? So I call it filling the funnel. If you can imagine a funnel and you're putting lots of prospects into that funnel at different exposure points, I'm going to show you how to fill the funnel very quickly. Module number 3 is how to tell your story. What do you do once you have an appointment? Even if you're brand new or you've been around for a while, what do you do in telling your story that will help you get a result that you want to achieve with this prospect, whether it's them becoming a customer or a distributor? Okay, how do you tell the story? How do you do that properly? Module number 4 is how do you help them make a decision to join? You've got all these people, you're going to have to, as you engage in this process of recruiting 20 people in 30 days, you're going to have lots of people thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I got to talk to somebody. I got to do some homework, all these different things. So how do you help them make the decision? How do you help them overcome their, help to overcome their objections, answer their questions? How do you help them make a positive decision and get off the fence one way or the other? Okay. And then module number 5 is once you have these people, how do you get them started? How do you get them off to a quick start so you can enjoy more duplication in your business? It's one thing to recruit 20 people. It's another thing to get 20 people into activity, getting them started properly so the duplication starts to work for you. Instead of just addition in your business, it starts to be duplication in your business, okay? So that's the 5 modules: preparation, fill the funnel, tell the story, help them join, and get them started. All right? Got it? Now, let me just recap the importance of recruiting 20 and 30. I made a major discovery over the course of my career that, first it was just one thing that I noticed, that every time I really went at a major push, I had some incredible things going, company went through a transition, or there was an opportunity and there's momentum. All of my success, I pointed back to a few times in my career when I recruited a bunch of people in a short period of time. And it was always around 20. I don't know why, but it was always around 20 people, 18 people, 22 people, 25 people, 15 people, whatever it was, somewhere in that range that led to that I could point back and I could point back to the success that I had in my career as a distributor to those little seasons. And then I started to pay attention. I started to ask. I know so many $1 million a year earners in network marketing. I started to ask them, what were the seasons of their career that created most of the results that they are enjoying today? And almost all of them could point back to a time, virtually everyone, could point back to a time where they recruited a lot of people in a short period of time. And usually it was around 20 in a short period of time. And I was like, why is that? And so once I've made an absolute distinction that this is what separates some of the high earners from people who struggle in network marketing. Slow and steady does not win the race. Slow and steady will starve you to death.
Hey everybody, really quick, can we make sure everybody is on mute so that everybody can hear the video playing? It looks like everybody is on mute except for me now. So everybody is on mute. LaQuincia, you are logged in twice, so that's why they hear the noise.
She's probably getting an echo.
Yeah, she's logged in twice somehow. Her name is on here twice. Alrighty, I apologize, you guys. We'll go ahead and get started again. Sorry.
Our business. Sometimes you need energy. Sometimes you need intensity. Sometimes you need excitement and enthusiasm and momentum for people to kind of get excited and get into action with you. It does so many positive things by a person making the decision to recruit a bunch of people in a short period of time versus slow and steady wins the race. We're going to talk about that in this module. I want to give you kind of the mindset of the importance of recruiting 20 and 30. That's the first part of this module. Second part is understanding the numbers, what it's going to take in order for you to get to your 20, because it's just math. You know, it's a numbers game. And I promise you, every one of you has the ability to recruit 20 and 30 if you'll make the decision to do the actions necessary to recruit 20 and 30. Now we're talking about the schedule. How do you break up those 30 days? And we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the mental preparation in order to be able to do it. Because I know some of you are a little bit intimidated. Maybe you're intimidated even buying this course because you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to go that far. But I promise you, we're going to help you through it step by step, every step of the way over the course of this training course. Okay, so now I want you to think about first, what would it be worth to recruit 20 and 30? What would it be worth to you? Let's just do some math. And with this course, you got a workbook that you can go through. And in this workbook, you're going to see this little formula that I want you to fill in the blanks, okay, with your company, with your opportunity, because people from all over the world, lots of different companies are engaging with this product. Now, first question is up front. Upfront commissions. Now, when you bring a person in and they become a distributor, what do you earn from? Their product purchase when they get started? Is there an upfront commission with your company on the product purchase that they make? You know, they're getting involved. Now, what is that? You take the upfront. What is that for you? There's a number times 20. That's going to give you a total number. Okay. So what are the upfront commissions on the initial product purchase from your brand new distributor? That's one number to understand. The second number to understand is, are there any other bonuses? Are there any other bonuses? Do you have fast start bonuses? Do you have anything else that would kick in your compensation plan if you recruit 20 and 30? What other bonuses would kick in? And you come up with that number, right? That's the second number. Third number that I want you to take a look at is an estimated 12 months number. If you bring in 20 and 30, about, just estimate, just, you know, take a guess at how much you would earn from bringing 20 in over the next, 20 people in 30 days. What, over the next 12 months, what would that average?
Sorry, I'm off mute now. I was just talking. So let's talk about what he just talked about. So let's talk about how much you would earn if you did 20 and 30. Many people don't understand the comp plan. So that's why they don't really build a team as fast as they should, because they don't realize how much money they could possibly make. So if anybody has a calculator, I'm going to talk through it. I would use my phone to figure it out, because this is all you got. This is all live. Nothing is scripted. We are just giving you the raw deal. So
1,400.
1,400. All right now. So I remember doing this with India when she got started, but I can't remember the number. But 20 and 30. So if you was to recruit 20 people in 30 days and you're brand new in this business, Jasmine, go on mute for me, honey. The first 2 people that you bring into this business, you earn $50 per person. So you know on the first 2 people, that's $100. So now let's talk about the third person through 20. So now you have 18 people that you're earning $70 from, right? So what's 70 times 18, Jasmine? Is that 1,300? What is that?
1260.
It's how much?
1260.
1260 plus 1260. And when I gave the figure of 14, it was because I was thinking along the fact that we already got the 2 in and 70 per head. So
Okay, gotcha. So it's 1260 for 13 through 20, right? Plus you get the 200. All right. So if you was to recruit 20 people in 30 days, you pretty much got $1,500. 1460 is what you
1360.
1360 or 1460?
13.
All right, so you will earn 1360 up front. Plus, keep in mind that you have the residual income that you're earning from these individuals monthly. So think about what you pay to get into this business. To launch this business is a little or nothing. We pay no more than $175 to get started in this business. Yet, if you do what you're supposed to do and implement this training, you could earn $1,400, $1,500 in 30 days, right? So what we want to do is show you, write the math down. You may be somebody that feel like you can do 30, 40, 50 people in 30 days. Whatever the case may be, I want you to understand that on your first 2 people, you earn 50. That's in the workbook, India. Come off mute, India. Do I have to unmute you?
It's in the workbook. So if everybody downloads the workbook, you'll see everything that he's saying is in writing. So you guys can take notes, and when you print the workbook, you can fill in everything that she's talking about tonight.
Right. What she's saying is that in the workbook, it already has this there. So you can pretty much draft it yourself. And let's put it like this. Your personal goal may not be 20 and 30. We're just showing you how to recruit 20 and 30. It may be 10 and 30. So whatever your situation is, you could use that workbook and write down the compensation so that you know how much you will earn at the end of 30 days. Okay? So I'm going to go to this chat real quick to see if we have any questions. Okay, Robin said 1360. We have all attendees muted automatically scheduled. How can I make sure I am muted? Okay, so everybody online is automatically muted.
As panelists, we were answering a lot of the questions while you facilitate, so we got you on the questions.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. All righty. So we got, where do you download the workbook? Oh, okay. So I'm not sure if you guys can see the Q&A or not, but Shannon Phillips and Dina Wyatt, if you go to the chat box, you will see a link where you can download everything that we're discussing. And it was posted by me. Okay, all righty. So let's start the video. Go back to the video.
Up to, do you think? Okay, just come up with an estimate. I'm not holding you to it. It's not scientific. It's just designed to help you kind of understand it. Fourth,
I put myself on mute.
the estimated lifetime value of bringing in 20 and 30. What's it going to be worth over the course of your career? I'll give you an example of a time when I brought in 20 and 30. I brought June of 2005. Yeah, June of 2005. I'm in a situation where I got to make something happen. Okay, 11 years ago, And I decided I'm going to go after it hard. And I brought in 20 and 30. And over the course of the next 6 years with that company, I earned over $7 million in commissions. And I will tell you that about 80% of my income, I could point back to those first 20. So take $5 million, 20 people into $5 million is how much? Well, I mean, what's the lifetime value? What was the lifetime value just for those 6 years from that effort? Well, it was about $5 million. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have $5 million, but it's possible. You don't know what the value of any one particular person is when they decide to change their life. But just come up with a guesstimate. Now, 5, will you rank advance? If you bring in 20 and 30, will that happen? Does that have a value to you, to your organization, where you're going to make other commissions in different areas if you rank advance? If you become an example for your group, you could tell your group, hey, go to work, go to work, go to work. Or you could decide that you're just going to show them by example. Now, if you're an example for your organization, is there a value in that? Yes, there is. Now, you just have to determine what that value is. Is the value $500, $300, $1,000? What's the value of your story? Just the story that you went and brought in 20 and 30. What's that worth? Okay? So, 7, prestige or reputation. What's that worth? Just the fact that you went out and did this. So if you take up, what's the total value? I want you to add up all these things in your workbook, and what's the total value of bringing in 20 and 30? It's not just the upfront, is it? The upfront's a piece of it, sure. But what you get from other bonuses, 12 months of value, lifetime value, again, these are going to combine a little bit, but just for the exercise. Rank advancement, what's that worth? Be an example, what's that worth? Prestige and your reputation, story, what's that worth? Add it up, and you're going to come up with a pretty big number. What I want you to kind of realize here is if I can convince you that this is possible for you to do, I want it to be really hard for you to justify not doing it. Because it's so valuable. I want you to just go, well, I can't afford not to do this. I just need the skills to do it. And the great news is you already got the course. So I'm going to give you the skills. You're just going to have to take the action. Okay, so understanding the worth of this, number 1. The second thing I want you to understand is why 20. Because I've done some analysis on the 20 thing. And here's what I will tell you. Success loves speed. Success just loves speed. So here's kind of what happens when you bring in 20, just so you kind of understand. If you got 20 recruits here and you have 30 days here, okay? You bring in those 20, here's what's going to happen. About 12 of them will do something. 12 out of the 20 will do something. Okay? Now, where do the other 8 go? We don't know. I mean, it's spooky how often this happens. You bring in 20, everybody's fired up, and then 8 of them just disappear. They get busy, they got something else going on, they go into the witness protection program. Who knows what happens? But 12 out of 20 do something. 8 of them just disappear. Maybe they just become a customer. Maybe they quit right away. Who knows? But this number holds, this general number holds, okay? So if you got 12 out of the 20 do something. Now, after 90 days, you're excited because you got 12 people. But do you really have 12 people? You really don't. After 90 days, it looks like you've got 8 people that are really making something happen, that are, going to be long-term leaders after 90 days. So where did the other 4 go? Well, they got distracted by something, went, oh, look, a bird, and they disappeared for a while. Who knows? But it looks like you have about 8 out of the 20 after 90 days. After a year, you have about 4. About 4. You don't really have 8. You're just kind of boiling it down. You have about 4. And I will tell you, one of those 4 will be doing over 50% of the entire volume of all of these 20. One of them. Okay? This is typical. Now, do you really have 4? No. After 5 years, you have about 2. 2 strong leaders, 2 strong lines out of those 20. Now, this is typical. Okay? Now, here's what happens. If you do it in 30 days, these are the numbers that you can expect. But if you do it in, let's say, 30 months, something different happens. Because if you bring people in a group,
Okay, you guys, really quick, what I want to touch on is I want to make sure you guys are paying attention to the difference in doing this in 30 days versus doing it in 30 years or whatever the case may be, and why it's important that you do it within 30 days. So he's going to show you an example where, just think about it. You in high school and you got your graduating class and everybody's competing. You're racing to be at the top. But if you came in 2010 and then 2 people came in 2013 and somebody else came in 2018, there's no competition. There's no motivation. There's nobody to compete with. So what he's about to show you is the difference in why it's important to do it within 30 days versus dragging it out. Okay? If you can crunch it and do it within 30 days, you can take a nap for a minute. But when you drag it out for the course of a year, you are stressed out. You complaining because you're trying to figure out why this person won't do right, why they won't move, why they won't do this. It's because you're not moving. It took you a year to add 20 people. Okay? So if you want to see movement, then you need to do it fast. So success loves speed. So somebody raised their hand. And I want to read, I saw something pop up, said Dion raised her hand, but I don't see anything in the chat box. Oh, so Robin put 20 personally sponsored is $13.60. The first 2 is $50 each, which is $100. The next 18 is $70 each, which is $12.60, which equals $13.60. Right? You guys, that's a lot of money to make back in 30 days, and all you paid was $175. Okay? That's a lot of money. But most people don't see it because they don't take the time to learn their comp plan. They're too busy trying to look in the Booking Ninja and travel everywhere. You need to, if you're in this business to make money, then you need to educate yourself on how to do so. You need to plug into your leadership and figure out how to do so. Miss Dion, I can't see your question. I saw something pop up, but I just don't see your we have
Tawana, can you let me just say, can I just say something? Miss Dion, make sure that on the bottom of the chat box that you say, it says to all panelists and attendees, so we can all see the question. You may be on an individual's name, and that's why we're not seeing it.
I can see
it doesn't
here.
default to everyone.
I'll promote her to panelist so she can ask her question. So Dion, I'm gonna promote you to panelist so that you can ask your question, okay? All right, so we got Dion on the panelist side. Okay, Dion, you on the panelist side now, so you can go ahead and answer your question. Miss Dion, you there?
Yes, to unmute.
Hey, hon. You can go ahead and ask your question now. Then I'll send you back to the other side. Miss Dion, you there? I'm not sure what happened, but let's go ahead and continue with the video, okay?
There's camaraderie, there's competition. It's like you're bringing in the class of whatever that year is, okay? And everybody's excited and everybody's motivated and they're pushing each other and they're friends with each other. But let's say you just brought in one every 6 weeks or so. Instead of in 30 days, you brought them in about every 6 weeks, you brought in a new person. Every single one of them feels like an orphan. Every single one of them feels disconnected from the group. Every single one of them doesn't feel part of the cool group. You know what I mean? Every single one of them feels lonely. So something happens in the dynamic. These are the results you can expect if you do it in 30 days, but let me give you what happens if you do it in 30 months. Typically, you'll have about 8 of these will do something out of your 20. 8 will do something. After 90 days, about 4. You'll have about 4. After a year, you'll have 1. And after 5 years, you got to get lucky. You got to get lucky. You know, so you got 2 with this process. You have, who knows, after that process. So, you know, because some people like to say, hey, just go recruit 1 person a month and teach your organization to recruit 1 person a month. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. It's just slow and steady does not win the race. You can't get enough velocity. You can't get enough momentum. I want you to get momentum. So what is the 20 and 30 worth to you? Okay? For you to stop crawling in network marketing, do something spectacular, or bust out to new levels of success. And success loves speed. If you do it in 30 days, here's what you can expect. Okay, as a general rule. It's no guarantees, but a general rule. And if you do it in 30 months, here's what you can expect. Now, which one would you rather do? If you're going to recruit the same 20 people anyway, okay? If you're going to do it the same anyway, why not just get it over with? Bring them in, give them the best chance for success, and go after it, okay? Now, you understand this and you understand this. Hope you have all this. You got it in your workbook anyway. So let's talk about the next thing. Let's talk about the numbers. This is a numbers game. Like anything, if we're trying to get 20 people to make a decision in 30 days, we have to understand the numbers, right? So typically, when I travel the world, I talk to organizations all over the world, the typical number is if there's 10 presentations, you're going to involve about 2 distributors, typically, okay? More or less, depending on the life that you've lived up until this point. I mean, if you've been a taker and if you've been, you know, a super hermit introvert, you might get less than 2 out of 10 because you haven't built up a lot of rapport with people. If you've been a giver all your life, might get more. If you had more success in your life, maybe you get more than 2 just because of your prestige. If you have less success, less credibility, maybe you get less. See, when I started in network marketing, don't think that this is a credibility game, because it's not. It's a credibility bonus to some people at the beginning, but it's not a credibility game long term. When I got started in network marketing, I had 18 jobs prior to that. 22 years old. No college degree, barely escaped high school. I had the opposite of credibility. But I made it up in numbers and ambition and determination what I lacked in credibility. So don't worry about where you're starting. Just understand, some people are going to get a bonus that's going to frustrate you maybe. Other people are going to get punished a little bit. That's going to discourage you maybe. But just understand, it's temporary. You're going to make it up in numbers, okay? So you understand? 10 presentations typically worldwide result in about 2. Now that's a huge number. If you're involved in any kind of sale, a 20% number, people making a decision to get involved in your company is a great number. So in order to get to your 20, what do you have to do? You have to do 100 presentations. have to do 100 presentations in order to get to your 20. It's like, you're already freaking out, right? Don't worry about it. I want to help you, understand how to do this. It's not going to be hard. Okay, we're going to bust down the numbers first, and then we're going to help you build it back up. Now, if there's 100 presentations, how many appointments do you need to have? It's not 100 because people don't show up. Stuff happens, the schedule conflict, they forgot, whatever. So call it, say, 125. 125 appointments will help you get 100 presentations, will help you get your 20 people to make a decision. Now, in order to set those appointments, how many text messages or calls do you need to make in order to get those appointments? Typically, you're going to be able to schedule about 50% of a text message strategy. We're going to talk about that in the next module, Filling the Funnel. So let's just kind of give you a general rule of thumb. Approximately 300 text or calls in order to get to your 125 appointments, in order to get to your 100 presentations, in order to get to your 20 recruits. Got it? Now, what does your list need to look like in order to be able to make those 300 texts or calls? I would say somewhere between 300 and 500. 300 to 500 on your list in order to be able to make those texts and calls, make those appointments, do those presentations. Now, don't stress out about this if you're like, hey, I've already talked to everybody I know, everybody's already said no. Don't worry about all that stuff. I don't know what to say. I'm really nervous about this. Relax. I just want you to be assumptive right now and assume this is all going to work out. Assume that, I'm going to give you a strategy to be able to have a conversation with all these people that feels comfortable for you. Assume that people are going to have a positive response to this. Just assume success, okay? Let all the worries, move to the side for now. Assume radical success. Assume radical acceptance, all right? So 300 to 500 on the list will get you your 300 texts or calls, which we're going to get done quickly, which is going to make those appointments, schedule those, you're going to get your 100 presentations, and you're going to get your 20 people recruited out of those presentations. Now, here's the thing that I want you to understand. These numbers are what you would need to do if you're going to try and bring in 20 and 30 months. Just spread it out over time. These numbers are based upon kind of the general public. But understand this, if you'll engage in a condensed burst of energy, if you'll do this in 30 days, these numbers change. These numbers change. Here's what I will tell you they change to. Instead of 2, this becomes 3 to 4. 3 to 4, 30 to 40%. Just because you're doing them quickly, you're doing them all at the same time, you're doing them with different energy, different intention. So those 2 are not the 2 now, that's 3 or 4. So what does that mean? That means you have to do 60 to 70 presentations, not 100. That means you can do 80 to 90 appointments, not 125. That means you can do 150 texts or calls, not 300. And it also means you can have 150 to 300 on your list, not 300 to 500. So just understand, the added benefit of doing it quickly is you're going to get a much higher return on your time and effort and energy. And if you're like me, just understand, some of you are introverted people, and I get that. Let me give you the definition of introvert. They lose energy in a crowd, okay? They lose energy when they're around a lot of people. I'm an introvert. So I need my space, I need my time alone in order to be able to recharge my batteries. My batteries get really, really low in a crowd, and I've got to go recharge by being by myself. Extroverts, they go into a crowd, their batteries fill right up. So the introverts, sometimes they're trying so hard to guard their energy that they need to find ways to trick their mind into going into the action that they need to go into. And I'll give you an example. I'm talking to the introverts for a moment. I would much rather do this 20 and 30 than 20 and 30 months. 20 and 30 days, I'm in. Because I can get myself in a mindset that for 30 days, I'm going to go way outside of my comfort zone. For 30 days, I'm going to be outrageous. For 30 days, I'm going to swing out of balance. For 30 days, I'm going to do something spectacular. And then I can rest, okay? That's what's in my mind. I want to get that project done, and then I can rest. Versus the idea of having to recruit a new person every 6 weeks, I'm exhausted thinking about it. It's just like, oh, I got to, always, I got to find this person. I got to, I'm exhausted, me. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if that resonates with you, but I'd rather get it over with. And if I get better results anyway, I have to get myself in a mindset to recruit. I have to get myself in a state where I'm attracting the right people into my life and into my business. And I have a difficult time being in that state when I let all the other little distractions of life get in the way. I have to get into recruiting, animal recruiting mode, in order to be able to get the best results possible, okay? So once I understood the numbers game, once I understood what it's worth to recruit 20 and 30, that success loves speed, and here's what I could expect from bringing in 20 and 30, I understood the numbers, that I get better return on my time, and I can get the pain over with. Understand, get the pain over. What if you just did this once a year? You get the pain over with and then just work with the team and have a great time the rest of the year. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fun? Instead of every day you're walking up and down the street trying to grab somebody that's by the throat and say, come, please join my business. Be a lot more fun, wouldn't it? At least it has been for me and for many of the most successful people that I know. So understand this. If you'll believe me here, my hope is that you'll do this. Now let's talk about schedule. We kind of break this down a bit. Your first it's not right. Your first 10 days, okay? In your first 10 days, you're going to be focused on contacting and inviting and setting as many appointments as possible and meeting people and telling the story. You're going to try and front load this 30 days with invitations and appointments. As many as you could possibly squeeze in to those first 10 days, we're going to front load the initial exposure into those first 10 days. Now, the second 10 days, you're going to also continue to have first exposures, but it's going to be less, and you're going to shift your energy to follow-up, answering questions, overcoming objections, helping people understand the product, maybe sampling something, whatever it happens to be, three-way phone calls, those types of things, okay? And then the third 10 days, we're going to be helping people make a decision. We're going to be helping people get to that point of decision, yes or no, I'm in or I'm out. Now understand, through this whole process, I'm not a believer in just recruiting and not involving customers. Just understand, through this process, you're going to have tons of these people say, hey, the business isn't for me, but sign me up as a customer. And I'm going to teach you how to use the language to help them do that, okay? So you're going to get way more than 20 customers, you're going to get 20 distributors, but way more than 20 customers through this process. So understand that what's that worth also. So first 10 days, front loaded as much as we can into massive presentation mode. Second 10 days, we're going to be more primarily focused on follow-up. Third 10 days, we're going to be more primarily focused on closing, helping those people make a decision that they want to make, not twisting arms, but helping them get past the roadblocks in their mind to make a decision that's in their own best interest, okay?
Okay, everybody, before we move forward, I want to touch on this because what he's about to go into now, he's going to talk about the 30 days. So this is a 30-day project, and he breaks it down into 10 days, 3 segments of 10 days. So the first 10 days, you are straight presentation mode. You are exposing the business to as many people as you possibly can. The second 10 days, you are following up. So basically, everybody that you expose the business to in those first 10 days, you are now following up. and the last 10 days, you are closing. You are trying to see who was serious, who was not, and so that you can close it out and you can start recruiting. So that's what he's talking about now. Now, keep in mind that this video is all about preparation. He's going to break down each one of these 10 days in the future segments. There's a training just on closing. There's a training on follow-up and setting appointments in the future trainings. What he's doing right now, he's highlighting everything. He's explaining to you that this is a 30-day process, okay? So if you are on this line tonight, I hope you are committed to 30 days. This is not 3 days. This is not 30 minutes. This is 30 days of you grinding, finding new prospects, and doing it exactly like he's stating here, doing it exactly like your leaders that you see now are explaining to you. And I guarantee you, at the end of this project, if you stick with it, you will rank up. You will see success in your business if you follow this. So what I want you guys to do, because he may not say it, I can't remember. I got this from somewhere, but get the buy-in from your family. If you know you are going to do this, and you need to say, hubby, we need this money right now. So I need you to pick up some of the slack, and so that I can focus on my business for 30 days. Say, if it's a guy in the business, say that to your wifey. If it's the kids, sit down with the kids. If you got older kids, say, hey, you need to do the dishes. You need to do this, you need to do that. My point is that get your family's buy-in, because all it takes is one distraction, and then it's not going to work, okay? So we're going to go back to the video, but I want you guys to pay attention to how he broke it down. So we're doing it in 30 days, but you're going to have 10 days of presentation. Now, if you're new to the business, you may not be doing presentations yet. Who is your upline? Where is your local meeting? Where are your webinars? You should have all of that information at your fingertips so that you can plug your people into that. So that when you get to that, when those 10 days are gone, now you're following up. You said, okay, I sent 200 people to India Hughes' webinar that she does on Tuesday night. Or Alyssa Davis' webinar that she does on Wednesday nights. Whatever the case may be, you plug them into something. Now, your next 10 days, you're not prospecting, you're following up. Okay, you're following up, and then the last 30 days, you're closing. I hope that rib is good as you got up in the middle of this to get that rib. Okay, so let's go back to the video so that Diane can eat her rib, okay? Here we go. And you guys, are you answering the question in the chat? Because I see like 8 of them sitting there. All right, here we go.
So we've talked about what is it worth. We talked about success, love, speed. We talked about the numbers game. We talked about the schedule. Now let's talk about the real preparation for a 90-day game plan. Preparation. Preparation number 1 is commitment. You've got to sell out to this. You've got to say, guess what? I'm going to the top. I am not stopping at 19. I'm not wimping out at 18. I'm getting 20. I'm going to make it happen. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care how painful it is. I don't care how comfortable I'm going to get. I'm going to take 30 days and I'm going to make this happen. I am committed 100%. You know, the successful people, the formula for success that I've come to know in my life is successful people, number 1, they say yes. Number 2, they tell the world. And number 3, they figure it out. So what I want you to do is make a commitment. I'm not talking about I'll give it a try. That's not a commitment. You're already almost guaranteed to fail. I'll try it. I'll see what happens. Stop it. You already bought this program. Step into it. Make the commitment. I'm doing it. It's going to happen. It's already done. We're just not into the future yet. It's over. It's finished. It's done. Tell the whole world that you're going to do it. Tell your team, tell your company that you're going to do it. All right? And then figure it out. And I'm going to help you. I'm here to help you. So commitment's number one. Number two is sacrifice.
Hey, you guys, I want to say something really quick that just touched my heart because something he just stated. And I'm hoping everybody is paying attention. We got 48 people online. I hope you're paying attention. Team on a mission, I'm just going to keep it real. They're spoiled rotten. Okay? The training that you guys are getting right now costs hundreds of dollars. And you won't see this offered on any other team. But the fact that you're on this team, a lot of people take advantage of it. And they don't implement the techniques that we're learning. A lot of people figure this out 10 years down the line. So what I want you guys to ask yourself is, why are your leaders that are first-time network marketers succeeding in this business now? That's what I want you to ask yourself. And the answer is because they have leaders, or they themselves started studying people that were already succeeding. You know, other teams don't offer what you are getting right now. So I hope if you're watching this, you're really taking notes and you have a plan in place to implement this. Okay? Because what he just said, when he said that you bought this training, I'm thinking to myself, shoot, I bought this training. Nobody on this line bought this training. So this training helped me rank up. It helped my team rank up. But I'm tired of people taking advantage of it. You know, I post it and nobody implements it. So if you are in a situation right now where you need the money, somebody needs the money. This is the plan to get there. Just write it down and do what you got to do to get there. Because I promise you, this is my last week of training. I've done this training a million times. This is my last week of training. And I'm praying that you guys buy into it. Okay, because it worked for me. It's been a blessing for me and this team, and I want to share this with the people that don't work directly with me. Because a lot of you guys have been recruited from people that are down, downline, so you may not have seen this. So if you're on this line, it's your first time seeing it, or maybe you've seen it a million times before, I hope today is the day that you wake up and realize that this is it. You are getting training from a 7-figure income earner that is telling you how to grow your business. If you can't listen to a 7-figure income earner, who you gonna listen to? Right? So I'm gonna go back to the video. I just wanted to share that because, that really touched me when he said, you paid for this, because I paid for this. And I want you guys to benefit from it. But you got to be willing and able. You got to open up your heart, open up your mind, and be willing to accept the information. That's all I want. All right? All right, let's get back to it. Figure out how to mute my...
Something's got to give. Yeah, and really, here's what I want you to understand. Are you willing to engage in short-term pain for a long-term return? Are you willing to be uncomfortable for 30 days? Are you willing to give up the things that you enjoy, maybe some of the things that you enjoy for 30 days? Are you willing to turn off the television for 30 days? Are you willing to stop mindlessly surfing on the internet for 30 days? Are you willing to give up some hobbies for 30 days? Are you willing to stop going to your sports teams or whatever it is that you love to watch for 30 days? Are you willing to not go to any movies for 30 days? Are you willing to, when you're eating, only eating with prospects maybe for 30 days? You understand what I'm saying? You're willing to give up a little bit of sleep for 30 days. You're willing to push yourself so hard that you're tired. Then that's fine for 30 days. It's worth it if you'll do this. And if you won't do it, I mean, if you're not willing to make the sacrifice, you just want to have, there's no free lunch. Every entrepreneur's gone through a season of sacrifice. Their commitment's number one. Their sacrifice is really important. So What are you prepared to give up in order to be able to get there? Now, if I was coaching you personally, face to face in your room, or your home, we would be talking about what are the things that fill up your time right now. And I'd be asking you questions. Well, can you pull back a little bit on that? Let's say you run your own small business. Can you have other people manage the things that you fill up your time with for 30 days? Can you ask your spouse to pick up some slack for 30 days? Can you have arrange for other things to happen for 30 days? Can you hire somebody else to mow your lawn for the next 30 days? Can you see what I'm saying? All distractions. You've got to get rid of, you've got to make sacrifices in order to be able to pursue your dreams. What was it worth? We talked about what it's worth. Are you willing to sacrifice in order to be able to get it? It's critical. Next. You need to negotiate. Maybe first, you need to negotiate. These aren't in any particular order. But you need to negotiate with your family, especially your spouse if you have one, girlfriend, boyfriend. You need to negotiate and say, I believe our future is worth the effort. I'm prepared to really work hard for 30 days. Will you give me the space and the grace in order to be able to make that happen? Will you be the wind behind my back instead of in my face for 30 days? Okay, and we'll evaluate the results after 30 days, but will you allow me to have a laser focus for 30 days? Working hard, figuring out the hours, figuring out the time. And, so you negotiate with the kids also. Hey, if dad or mom is going to go do this for the next 30 days, give them a reward at the end. I need you to encourage me and involve the kids in the excitement, the adventure. They'll be great with it. But you have to negotiate up front. Otherwise, there's going to be all kinds of bitterness and resentment because you're going to be home, but not really home. You're going to be in the other room, and everybody's like, oh, we're trying to, hang out with the family for a few minutes. Why can't you just play the game with us? Why can't you just do that? And if you don't negotiate up front, you're going to have all kinds of resistance. So you have to negotiate up front. You have to sit down with them and say, for these 30 days, from this time until this time, I need you to encourage me to get my task done. Because if I do, our family changes. If I do, our future changes. If I do, the benefits of our life is going to be enormous. And if I don't, I'm going to be frustrated. Everybody's going to be frustrated. We're going to be living in a fraction of our potential. So negotiate with the people that you care about before you start. And if you have a non-supportive, some of you have a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend that's not supportive of your business. You know why they're not supportive? They're tired of watching you crawl in network marketing. If you're getting great results, guess what? They'd be so supportive, it'd be unbelievable. But they're not supportive because they watch you put in all this effort and you're not getting any results because you're doing the slow and steady thing.
But I just had to stop on this one. Okay, so listen, you guys. This is huge because many of us have had that unsupportive boyfriend, spouse, or somebody that was right there by us giving us a hard time. Okay? And it was me. I was constantly blaming. I was like, okay, my husband don't support me. He don't do this. He don't do that. But then I had to have a reality check. I had to say, Tawana, you have tried a million things and you never stuck with it, right? I had to check myself. And then I realized, I said, okay, you need to become the evidence that this works, right? You need to become the evidence. You can't be dibbling, dabbling and everything and then expect everybody to just be gung-ho and jump and do whatever you want them to do, right? So that's what I had to do. So if you have that spouse right now, some people's situations are valid. They just have unsupportive spouses. But in most cases, your spouse isn't supportive because you have tried so many things that didn't work and you gave up. So what you have to do is become the evidence and prove to them that this works. And when you become the evidence, they will be all on board. Okay? They will be all on board. And we got a lot going on in this chat. So I'm thinking you guys got it under control. I don't want to miss anybody, but I know when we end this video, we will go review the questions and answer everybody's questions. But this part is huge, you guys. He's talking about getting your family's buy-in. So please take the time to get your family's buy-in and implement the techniques that he's discussing here, because this is all about preparation. If you don't prepare first, you will not get through all 5 modules. All righty? All right, let's move on.
Go to that non-supportive spouse or partner and say, listen, will you give me 30 days of total, absolute, white-hot support? And then we'll evaluate together after 30 days. But I want to engage in this activity in order to be able to make this thing happen. Will you help me? Okay? They'll give you the grace for that 30 days because they're going to go, well, yeah, let's see what happens. And now you got another reason to prove yourself to that spouse or partner. Now, let's talk about time for a moment. This one will scare you a little bit. It might scare you, might not. Maybe you're so ready right now to do this 20 and 30. Let's get to these other modules. Let's make it happen. You're ready to skip forward. That's fine. But let's talk about time for a moment. I will tell you what I believe is a proper 30-day effort. If you want to recruit 20 and 30 days, it's gonna take a big effort for you to do this, okay? Now, if you're part-time in network marketing, I think that means for 30 days, you're working 6 to 8 hours a day outside of your job. Okay? 6 to 8 hours a day on work days outside of your job and more on off days. So let's say you work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. That means you're going to your job, but before work, during breaks, during lunch, after work, into the evening, put the kids to bed and keep going through that process. You're going to be working 6 to 8 hours a day, focused energy. And let's say you've got 2 days on the weekend. Let's say you want to take 1 day for your spiritual health and your break, whatever your personal beliefs are. But you can take that other day, and on a Saturday, how many presentations could you do if you did one every 30 minutes in a Starbucks? Over 12 hours. You could do 24 presentations, couldn't you? Of course you could. You have to schedule them. But I mean, you can really get so much done in a condensed burst in 1 day on a weekend than most people get done in network marketing in a month. So understand the time for part-time, 6 to 8 hours a day. For full-time, I'll just tell you what I did. Anywhere from 10 to 16 hours a day of focused energy, if you're full-time. That's what I did. I did 8 a.m. to midnight every day. 8 a.m. to midnight. I actually did it for 90 days, the very first time. 8 a.m. to midnight. And it's an enormous amount of time. And I did it 7 days a week, and I wouldn't recommend that again. 6 days is good. You do need a day of rest, especially when you're working that hard. But 8 a.m. to midnight, that's what I did. Now, you can decide what you're going to do if you're full-time, but don't kid yourself. Just because you're in business for yourself doesn't mean you're just going to lay there and do nothing. I'm talking about 30 days, not 30 months, not 30 years, 30 days of that kind of effort in order to be able to get a massive return. So understand the time requirements. Then let's talk about distractions. All distractions are equal. All distractions are equal. Anything that gets in the way. You have to eliminate, purge your life from distractions. If there's stuff in your office that you look at it and it gets you distracted, move it away. If there's bills that when you look at those bills that get you distracted, have your spouse or partner deal with that for you, or deal with it one time for the month and be done. Don't look at it again. What are the distractions? What are the things that triggers in your life that when they occur, you lose a day? Is it surfing on the internet? Is it watching, binge watching House of Cards on Netflix? What is it that steals your time? Distractions. Let's say you're a workout fanatic. You love working out 2 hours a day. maybe you don't need to have 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can deal with 30 minutes for 30 days. You know, you can live with that. Understand, avoidance behavior takes lots of different forms. Now, so distractions you got to deal with, and also you got to make sure that you have the tools necessary. You know, whatever your company has when it comes to tools, if it's printed material, if it's DVDs, if it's CDs, if it's website, if it's samples of products, you got to make sure that you're prepared to show somebody the product, you're prepared to show someone the opportunity, you're prepared to show that your stuff, do whatever you do in your presentation when you sit down with somebody. So you got to make sure you have the tools prepared to start that process, okay? Then next, pick a start date. This is scary for a lot of you. It's like, okay, what's the day I'm going to start this thing? It's like, you know, a year from now or whatever it is. Pick a start date. When I started Network Marketing Pro, I'll tell you a quick story. I sat down with Gary Vaynerchuk in February 2009 because he was doing a lot of stuff on social media.
Hey, everybody. Okay, so really quick, I want to talk about, we still got 48 people online. I'm super excited about that. Okay, so let's talk about what he's about to talk about now, distractions. So we're about to get into the part where you pick your start date, okay? So this preparation is about eliminating all distractions, getting your family's buy-in. So when he says eliminate distractions, I want you to ask yourself, what do you have going on in your life like right now that's not contributing to your success? What is going on in your life that's not adding value to your life? You need to write these things down and you need to eliminate them. Now, today is August 28th. So let's say you agree that September 1st is your start date. You need to focus right now. You need to ask yourself, okay, what am I doing that makes no sense? Am I watching a lot of TV? Am I listening to Ricky Smiley in the morning when I could be listening to a motivational speaker? What am I doing that I can eliminate today that could free up some time so that September 1st, I could do this 20 in 30 days? That's what I want you guys to think about while you're watching this. So he's talking about preparing. Prepare your family for this. Get your family's buy-in. If you got that best friend, say, hey, best friend, I'm trying to get to the point where I don't need assistance from the state. I'm trying to get to the point where I don't care if my baby daddy lose his job and child support don't come in. Whatever the case may be, I want you guys to put yourself in a position where you are independent of anyone else. So I want you to write down those situations where you're not independent and say, I'm going to eliminate that today. Anything that anyone gives me is extra. It's icing on the cake. But today I am eliminating all the extra. That's what I want y'all to think about. And if it's not adding value to your life, get rid of it. And I'm saying, it says my internet connection is unstable. Am I a little choppy? I am? Oh. You good, Alyssa? Okay. I hope the recording's not choppy. All right. So I'm going to go back to the video, you guys. I hope you're finding a lot of value into this. Every time I watch it, I learn something new. I hear something different. But you know, make sure you're taking notes and implement these things. So write down the things that he's writing down on that board. So he's writing down distractions. He's writing down, you know, get your family's buy-in. Those are the things that you have to do. You can't just start a business and not tell your significant other. That's where most people have issues. You know, they fall short. They start a business, they don't tell their significant other, and then you get pissed off when they don't support you. They didn't know about it. So you gotta respect them enough to share it with them and say, listen, this is my focus right now. This is my goal. These are my goals. And I'm just asking you to respect that so that I can have the time that I need to grow it. That's it. Okay? All right, so let's move on.
At the time, he had a wine video blog, for people who enjoyed wine, red wine, white wine, whatever. And so I paid him. I paid him $10,000 for a couple hours of his time. I went and met with him in February in New Jersey at his office, and because I wanted to do something around the network marketing profession, I thought that I could really help the network marketing profession. And so I paid him for the time. And you know what I decided to do? This was middle of February. March 11th was my birthday. So I said, you know what? That sounds good. I'll just do it on March 11th. I'm going to launch 3 weeks from now on March 11th. And I had no clue. I didn't have a training course on how to do this. I had no clue. I didn't know how to do a website. I didn't know how to do a video. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know anything about anything. But guess what? I picked the date and I started. And that's what I would encourage you to do. We're going to go through this course. And after you go through this course, or maybe as your process is going through this course, pick the start date, decide when you're going to go after this thing, and we're going to do it together, okay? So pick the date. It's like super ninja markers. So pick a start date, and then, again, I want you to imagine this done. Imagine this done. I want you just to fast forward in your mind till you just finished your 30 days. And how does it feel? How does it feel to have recruited 20 people in 30 days, to have a team of fresh, excited, motivated, empowered people looking at you, grateful for the opportunity to be able to do something special with you, looking at you with admiration? How about your family? And congratulating you, encouraging you, that non-supportive spouse saying, man, you convinced me in this process. Look what you did. You just did something special. Maybe you can do this. How do your peers in your local market, how are they looking at you now that they know you've recruited 20 people in 30 days? How does your company responding? You probably won some awards inside of your company for fastest growing, most recruits, something. You've done something special. How do you feel? Are you proud? Is your family proud? How do you feel about your future? My hope for you is that when you finish this, you finally get a glimpse into your potential in network marketing, because this is what will give you a glimpse. We all join network marketing in this fog. There's a fog. And if you go engage in the 20 and 30, the fog will clear and you'll get a glimpse of your future. And it's a spectacular thing. You deserve this, okay? So what I want you to do, number one, I want you to understand what this is worth. As you're recapping this session, what is it worth to do 20 and 30? Make sure you do the exercise. Success loves speed. Here's what you get if you'll do the 20 and 30 versus 20 and 30 months. It's a much different result. You understand the numbers game of the amount of presentations you're going to have to do if you do it in a condensed burst of time in order to be able to get to your 20. You can get to that number. That's not a hard number to get to. You understand the schedule of what we're going to do in the first 10 days, second 10 days, third 10 days, our focus. And then you understand the preparation, that you're going to make a commitment. You're sacrificing. You're going to negotiate with family, business, friends, life. You're going to make the time commitment. You're going to eliminate distractions. You're going to make sure that you're equipped with the tools. You're going to pick the start date and imagine it done. Okay? So this is just to set the stage, but it's really important that you understand the value of this, because I'm going to give you the tactics now in the next modules, the tactics necessary in order to be able to make this all happen. This all sounds great, but now how do we do it? What do we do in order to be able to make this happen? So we're going to talk about filling the funnel next, and we're going to go through the rest of the modules. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make your notes. Make sure your workbook, you've got your notes in the workbook, and you've filled out the different processes here. And in the next module, we're going to help you get going, okay? So see you there.
All right, you guys, that was the end of the module 1. So what I want you guys to do is, I hope you took plenty of notes, because I'm about to give you a homework assignment, because tomorrow we're going into module 2. So again, module 1 was all about preparation. It's about preparing your family for this. It's about eliminating distractions. It's about documenting what this will be worth to you. Okay? So what I want you guys to do, post your questions here so that we can answer them live. But also, what is this worth to you? How many people do you need to recruit in 30 days? How much do you need in 30 days? You know, a lot of people are probably on this line right now that are financially strapped. So you need additional income. It's right here in your lap. Some of you have been sitting on it for years and doing nothing, and you have thousands of dollars right here in your lap. So what I want you to do is think about what this will be worth to you to make this work. If you recruited 20 people in 30 days, have the family meeting, eliminate all distractions, and prepare for this journey. Okay, because tomorrow it's straight setting appointments. He's going to teach you how to prospect and everything. So you're going to get all the questions that you've had over how long you've been in this business will be answered within these 5 days. If you just plug in and hang in there with us, it will be answered. So what we're going to do now is just open it up for Q&A. We're right on time. This is supposed to be no more than 2 hours, and we got plenty of time to answer any questions that y'all have. All righty, so let's start with where we leave off. Yeah, homework time. Jasmine. Okay, so let's do this. If you have any questions, post new questions so I don't have to go back through this feed. That's the best way to do it. So if you have any questions, just repost them. Yes, India. What would this be worth to you? How much do you need in 30 days? Like, how many of you guys would $1,400 in 30 days change your life? What bills could you pay off? Could you pay your mortgage? Just imagine if your plan B covered your mortgage for the month and you still save your mortgage for the month. You're always a month ahead for a rainy day. Yes, credit card debt. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine paid off her car early, right? Alyssa's able to buy those twins all those expensive shoes that they like, right? India, that's on here, paid her college tuition when she joined this business. There's so many different testimonies on here. I was able to stay home when I didn't even realize I was going to end up having a baby. So it's, you know, you never know why the Lord placed this business in your lap. So pay attention and do what you have to do to make it work. Okay, so Imoni has a question. Where is it at? Can we go back and work through the what is the worth formula? Yes, we absolutely can. So this video was recorded, so you guys can go back and watch it. I also have it without all of us on it. So if you just want to hear him and go through the training, it's a 45-minute training, then you can just watch the video and do this all over again. He covers what's it worth in the first 5 minutes of the video. So yes, I can get that out to you. Thank you.
Tawana?
And providing this training.
There's a question from Imani Davis. I think you passed it. How can I be proactive working jobs from 10 to 7? This is my current struggle. Any suggestions?
Yes, absolutely. I did the same thing. I actually worked from, well, I didn't work. I woke up at 5 in the morning. I didn't get home till 7, 8 o'clock at night. What I did was I made a decision to not go to sleep. When I got home, I took care of the kids and I focused on my business for 2 to 3 hours every day. So the beauty about the business that you have right now, it operates 24/7. you operate an internet business. So if you want to promote travel, then guess what? You can do what you have to do to promote travel. If you want to prospect, then when you come home, you can message people about your business. The business is 24/7, or you can offer people incentives to do it for you. So you may have family members that don't mind sharing your opportunity. So there are a million ways to do it. But what I did was, when I came home from work, I worked my business. That's because what Mr. Eric Worre stated was to get your family's buy-in. So when I decided I wanted to work this business, I sat down with my husband and my kids, and I said, listen, I can't come home cooking and doing dishes every day for these 90 days. I did 90 days. I didn't just do 30. I did 90 days, and I said, I cannot come home doing dishes and cleaning and doing all that every day. I don't want to work this job no more. I want to be home with my family. I need y'all to help me. And that's what I did. So all you have to do, hon, is when you come home, don't think about sleeping. You need to work your business. You can function off of 4 to 5 hours of sleep. And if you get home at 7, 8 o'clock, then you can definitely function off of, you have plenty enough time to go to sleep. I'm not sure what your situation is when you get home, but you have plenty of time.
Can I jump in there as well, Tawana, before I read the next question? But another part that rung out also is that depending on how long your lunch break is, if you have an hour lunch break, that's a great time for you. Instead of, I know a lot of us will sit there with our coworkers and chit chat. Forget them coworkers; they ain't putting no money in your pocket. Find a quiet corner. What I try to do is I try to go on my lunch break. I have the flexibility to do so, thank God. But I try to go after everyone else is gone. So when I'm in that kitchen, I'm by myself. It's not a lot of people in and out, you know what I'm saying? Or not to be funny, but when I go to the bathroom, I take my phone because I'm not allowed my phone on my floor. So depending on your situation, you have to just make it work for you. I take it to the bathroom and I'll take an extra long break in the bathroom. I don't care what they think I'm doing. You can attest to it, Tawana. That's why I sit there and I try to catch up on messages. I'll try to reach out to people. So just make every moment count for you. I hope that helped. But the next question was, can we get a recent list of all the ATL webinars and meetings? Are there any new ones since last post? I know for my group, I had created a spreadsheet. I can try to update it. If you guys give me your new one, I know Alyssa's Wednesday webinar. You mentioned somebody doing a Tuesday webinar. Who was that?
It was just an example, nobody.
Okay, we have the Thursday webinar that Sabana does at 12 o'clock. And yes.
Jasmine Branford is having a Zoom webinar Monday through Friday and on Sunday every day at 9:30 p.m. So we can add that as well.
Okay, so if we can get a list of all the different webinars, I know free agents do some on their own time as well. If we can get a list and just put it together and then put it central on the On a Mission group, Tawana, I don't mind helping with that.
And also we have the company ones that starting September 1st. They're doing it about 5 times a day.
So is that going to be every day, or is that, I thought it was just for the second? No?
No, it's supposed to go through, it's supposed to be daily. I'll confirm, but let's because you guys are going to need that for this. So if those that are the leadership team, if we could just put it maybe in, I'll start a post in our leadership team group. And if we could post everything that's going on, then I'll do it tomorrow during the day. And then that way you'll have it when we do our training tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow. I'll make a list of all the webinars that I see available. I'll go through all the groups.
Okay, cool. That's perfect. So for you guys that need it, we'll have it for you tomorrow when we start the training, because you'll definitely need it to do this blitz.
And just one more thing for Imani that says she works 10 to 7. I work 7 to 7. I work 12-hour shifts, and I still make it happen. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way, Imani. You can do it. As far as if you was trying to ask, how are you going to make it for this 20 and 30-day challenge, not so much working your business. Once you get through all the modules, you'll see how things are mapped out. He's going to give you scripts to do to come up with prospecting people. Just pay attention to some of the scripts that he give you, and then you'll categorize a lot of the different people that you'll talk to. you'll see that the time that you have, it will work. It definitely will work. Me working 12-hour shifts 3 days a week, and then my kids keep me very, very busy. I crunch every little moment. I'm at the ball fields using my cell phone to map out prospects and contact them, but you'll get it done. It may sound a little overwhelming right now, but you'll get it done, and you'll be able to get some sleep, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Great, great, great advice, India. Great example of making your time work for you. Next question. I guess I just initiated, right? Reading the questions, right?
Yep.
Sabana wants to know, when you came home from work, what would you do towards working your business? What did you consider priority? Tawana?
For me? So when I came home, wow. So when I was actually working, I was still learning the business at the same time. So a lot of things that I thought was priority then would not be priority now. So I'm going to give you the now and not back then, because I learned a lot. So priority now for me is prospecting. What I've learned now is that you cannot devote much time to trying to bring up grown people, right? You have to realize that you aren't. A lot of times we think that we are this super woman, super being, and that we can accomplish so much things that others can't, when in reality is we got the same blood running through all of our veins. So what you can do, others can do as well. So what you need to focus on is always building, always bringing in new blood into your business, be your primary focus. And don't get in that training trap. And don't get into that, that trap where you're constantly begging people to work their business. So when you come home, you need to focus on adding new partners. That's what you need to focus on. And of course, throughout the day, you want to respond to your partners. Now, you and Jay got a different situation because you can't have your phone. I didn't have that. If I was on my phone, I got little eyeballs, but it wasn't like you can't have your phone. You guys are going about 8 to 10 hours without plugging into your team at all. So the first thing I would do is check through my messages and see what my team is talking about, and also prospect. And always be looking for new blood, because you got to go through the numbers in order to find that superstar, right? So you got to go through the numbers. So that's what I will focus on for everybody, you guys, everybody. Because remember that you are, Jasmine, you're a superstar. Robin, you're a superstar. Alyssa, you're a superstar. Diane, India, LaQuincy, we are all superstars. It's just everybody has their own timing. That's one thing Diane taught me. Mama D told me. She said, everybody has their own time to shine. You can't push them to shine when they're not ready to shine, right? So that's something that she taught me, and that's something that I know. So what I have to learn is that you can't push people when they're not ready to be pushed. So when you come home, Sabana, work your business and constantly add new partners, because one day you're going to stumble across that person that is going to make you a millionaire overnight. And that's it. I'm always adding new partners, always. Because I want to be the example. I don't want nobody to say, hey, I didn't build my business because my leader wasn't. I'm always going to be the example. I'm not going to ask you guys to do anything that I don't do myself. So that's what I will say. Do whatever you want your team to do. You want your team to build. Do whatever you want your team to do. I'm sorry, I'm a little long-winded. Okay, next question.
That's okay.
I want to go to the question in the group with regards to the videos, if the new videos will be coming out in September.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
If the new company videos will be coming out.
They're out already.
Yeah.
You talking about the new business video?
Yeah,
The 5-minute video is out already.
okay.
And Tawana, by any chance, did Mr. Manning see the video that you did for the Run the Play 16K? And if so, what did he think? Or is he willing to implement it and put it in the back office? Has that been even discussed?
Loved it. The
I'm
Diamonds
sure.
loved it. They're using it. I even saw what's his name, Al Rodriguez using it too.
You see?
One of his posts. So they loved it. But I noticed that now they're doing each one, reach one, teach one. So I'm not sure if that's the new focus or what's going on, but they loved it. But I don't think they would use that one because I didn't put Traverse Global all through it. They like to kind of brand themselves through the videos. I just did a little bit. But that was just for us because I didn't want to wait.
We're going to use it.
Yeah.
We'll use it.
Yeah.
But just to make a point, Alyssa put in something in the chat saying, I've been eating with the first grade teachers now for I have not been eating with the first grade teachers now for 3 weeks, and they're mad. But I've been setting appointments and not eating Thursdays at Success Lab at 7 p.m. So that was I just wanted to touch on that because we were just talking about how you switch up a little bit and you can make some things kind of work for your schedule.
Like Lunch and Learns. Like if you are working a job now and you know how to present, during your lunch hour, do presentations. You know, go to the Ruby Tuesdays that's right by your job and invite everybody there. You can do a presentation in 20, 30 minutes. You guys can discuss everything when you get back to work. So if you go to Ruby Tuesdays, have those Lunch and Learns. So if you are that strapped for time, then what? You don't need to eat lunch. Pack your lunch. And you guys go off site to have meetings or whatever it is that you have to do. But like Jay said, where there's a will, there's a way. Or whoever said that. I think it was India. Somebody said.
All right, next question, lady, because it looks like we got a few. How do you approach someone who you talked to about the business before, but because they didn't act, I didn't follow up? So how do I rekindle an approach to recruit this person? This was from Cherish Walker.
I've done that a million times. So a lot of times I'll send a message out and I forget to follow up. So what I say is, I'll say something like, oh my God, the company had just implemented something new. And the first thing came to my mind is, what rock stars do I know? You know, I do something like that just to compliment them, just to get them back in it. And I say, you're the first person I thought about. But the scripts, you guys, that are going to come up, it's going to share all of that. So the script, it's going to be a script that's designed for each person that you bump into. Or it's your cold market, your warm market, and your hot market. But if you fail to follow up with somebody, it's just as simple as saying, number one, if they were that interested, they would have followed up with you. That's the main thing. But the other thing is that if it's somebody you forgot to follow up with, then you just revisit. And you say, oh my God, my business has been booming so much lately. I apologize, it's taking me so long to get back to you. But what did you think about what you saw? Because basically what you told them is that your business is going well. So it depends on that individual and your first approach. So it depends on what you said to them. So don't base what I'm saying, you know, don't send what I'm saying to everybody because I don't know how you initially responded to them. So base it off how you initially responded and go from there. If that makes sense. But there are scripts for everything. But if you sent them the correct message the first time, then what I'm saying would work. But if you didn't, it's not going to work. If you just sent them a video without getting their permission, then there's no follow-up. You never got their permission in the first place. But if you had a nice conversation, they were interested, you sent them a video, yeah, go ahead, India.
Epic fail. Never, never send a video.
Yeah, I don't watch videos. I don't watch people see.
Always, you know, develop a rapport first, a friendship, at least conversation. And like Tawana said, the modules are going to give you some simple scripts. We had a challenge today in our group to send this one script, and it says basically, thank you for supporting me in my endeavors. And I sent it out to somebody, and the first thing that they said was, That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to support each other. And all I said was, you're absolutely right. The next thing came out her mouth was, I need to talk to you about the weight loss stuff you doing. I said nothing about my business. And it just opened up that conversation about the business. The conversation ended in me saying, hey, aren't you an empty nester? What are you doing with your time? Can I send you a video to look at my business? And she says, well, my son is a producer. He takes care of me. I really don't need any money. So I said, well, who doesn't need money? Just take a look at the video. She looked at the video and she shared it with her son. So now I have to do a follow-up with her producer son. So hopefully it will get me something, but she did buy the weight loss product. So
cool.
You never know where those simple little scripts can take you. Just be prepared to respond honestly and humanly. There's no way to teach you to be human. You always use some humility in anything that you say and do. And that, as long as you stay genuine, I think that will lead the conversation into the place that it needs to go for you to bring up the topic of your business.
You're right.
Hey, Tawana. It's Robin. I just want to jump in because India says something really important, and that is when her prospect said, well, my son takes care of me. I don't really need any money. She didn't just say, oh, okay, then, well, thanks. I'll just talk to you later. She followed up with another question. Well, who doesn't need any money? And from that, it led to her getting ready to have this, conversation with the son. So many people would have just let that drop flat right there. So ask the next question and don't just let it fall flat. I think that was really great, India.
And then I want to add my little 2 cents that even if at the end, let's say the mother or the son don't end up being a partner, then your next step, instead of, again, just giving up, as Robin said, you can always ask them, well, hey, do you have or do you know a couple of people that may be interested in this? Because, again, if they're in that industry, they know a lot of people, and they may know somebody that does need money. So don't ever leave that person that said no as your last resort. Remember, they know people you don't know, and this world is about 6 degrees of separation. There are people out there that you just don't know and can be that blessing for you. Babe, there's a bug. I'm sorry, y'all. There's a cricket in the house. Sorry, y'all.
That is so true. Question.
But before we go to the next question, I just want to let everybody know the scripts can be found on page 34 in the workbook. So, I mean, there's a lot of information that's there, but the scripts, I think, start about page 34.
I'll paste it again in here for the latecomers. Oh, it went to Robin. Hold on. For all panelists and attendees. I just posted the link again, so if you couldn't find it, I just posted it again. So if you click on that link, you can download all the documents that we're discussing now. But this is great, you guys. I like this. Go ahead.
I think that was all the questions, but let's go back and address sorry, something came through and lost it. It was the Felicia. Let's address Felicia's question when she said, can we go back and work through the what it is worth formula? I think that's really important, that they really understand what it's worth and looking at it. But let's go back and do that with her while we still got a couple more minutes.
Y'all want to do the video?
Well, you don't really have to go through the video, but the first question that he presented was the upfront cost.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing you want to do is know your comp plan. So you need to know that in order to even answer these questions. So he's going to ask you, what is it worth for you to bring in 20 people right now? So if you were to bring in 20 people, ask yourself, how much would you earn up front from each one of them? So on the first 2 people, you earn $50. So you know that's $100 you earned when you brought in the first 2 people. From the 3rd person through the 20th, you're earning $70. So that equates to what, you guys? $1,360 total that you're earning up front. That's just your weekly. That's what you earn up front off of those 20 individuals. You also earn from each one of them residually every month, depending on which level they fell on your 4x7 matrix. You're earning residual income every month. If you have 20 people in your business, 9 times out of 10, you're not paying your monthly overhead in your business. So you got 20 people in your business, you earn almost $1,400, plus you don't pay the $80 a month to run your business. So you're operating a free business. So that's what it's worth to you. And a lot of people on this line may be still paying their monthly overhead. You should not be paying your monthly overhead in this business, period. Come on, you guys. If you have at least make it to your 3rd person, you're earning $70. So just bringing 1 person in the business per month. Your monthly overhead is $80. You're only left with $10. So bring in 2 people a month. You guys should be able to bring in 2 people a month if you are working your business. You should be able to do that. Okay, at least 1. But that's the purpose of this. You know, a lot of times we build, and then we fall into that management trap. So what we need to do is get out of the management trap and always treat today like day 1. That's what you guys got to do. Always treat today like it's the first day of your business. And go there. My video still stopped a while. Let's not forget that the monthly is a write-off. Exactly. The monthly is also 100% write-off as well. So was it Felicia that had the question? Does that answer your question, Felicia? I'm not sure if she's still online.
Well, there's 7 questions. The next question on that, what is it worth, was, are there any other bonuses? Fast start bonuses or anything that kicks in with a new team member?
Yes. So depending on what rank you are, you have a dollar amount that you're paid out for every person that comes into your business. So it ranges from, I believe it's $2.50, and it goes way up depending on your rank. So it's called a team bonus, yes. So if you go to your, if you go to the presentation and download it, you'll see, if you go to the rank slide, you'll see the dollar amount that you earn. So let's say you're a regional executive. Please don't quote me because I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's $2.50 if I'm not mistaken. But if you're a regional executive and your team brought in 50 people, you would earn an additional $2.50 for each one of them.
I have it up if you want me to share my screen.
Okay, or you can just tell us.
Okay. For the for national executives, it's $2.50.
Okay.
For international executives, it's $7.50, and for presidential, it's $12.50.
Gotcha. And that's a lot of money, you guys, for people you don't know, right? Just imagine you bringing in that rock star into your business, and they just add 50 people to your team that you do not know, and you're a national executive in this company. All right, that's a lot of money. Jasmine and several others can attest to that. So it's a lot of money. So we have, we also have the contest that Trey Harris has in place. If you hit international executive by October 31st, then you'll be greenware, and which signifies that you're IE. It's only going to be a certain class. This is not an ongoing ring contest. Whoever hits it by October 31st will be those ring wearers. And you have to be a qualified IE. So that's going to be huge. And we have other contests that's in place, which I don't have here in front of me as well. But you guys, this is not an easy challenge to do 20 and 30. I'm just going to keep it real. You have distractions. That's why the first video is about preparation. I want you guys to watch this video over and over again, and you need to prepare for tomorrow. So your homework assignment, we're going to answer everybody else's questions, but now do the homework assignment at the end.
Regarding that match that you just talked about, Ellen asked, is this for our own recruits or our team recruits? Those figures that Tasha mentioned were team recruits. But remember, your personal recruits, you get 100% and 150%, right? You get 150% for your first two and 100% match for everybody and beyond, correct?
That's correct. Yep, that's exactly right. So those is for your team, for the part that Tasha discussed. Those amounts. Yep.
So, Felicia, the remaining questions are more a personal thing for you to have to sit down and ask yourself, like the estimated 12-month number. You would have to set your goals. I don't think that's anything that Tawana or any of us on the panel can help you with, but your personal goals and see what is worth to you. But those first two questions, I really thought that this part would have helped you so that you can hear exactly how the company has value for you to push. So we can't say what it's worth to you or how prestigious it is for you, because as you can see, Tawana wants prestige because she's a diamond. And we trying to strive to be right there with her. So every step has its goal, has its crown. So just keep on striving and figuring out what is going to be worth to you. But I hope that the information that she's provided thus far was helpful for you in answering your question about its worth.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. She said
one more thing. I do see on number 5, it says, will you rank advance if you bring 20 and 30? Does that have a value to you, and does your pay structures change? Okay, again, that's a personal question, but yes, will you rank advance with 20 people in 30 days? You're a national executive. You're a national executive 2 times over if you have a personal leg within your leg. So you're only one national away from becoming an international executive. So for me, does that mean that, well, no, you'll be 2 nationals away to be an international executive, because you will personally have to have 3 national executives to be an IE. But for me, that means a lot. If I can get 20 people in 30 days and I can control 2 legs in my field, I will go for it, because that's more money coming back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, once you hit that first 10, you become national, you now start receiving that team bonus that we was talking about earlier. So that would be the adjustment to your income as well. And it would open up the matrix for you, which depending on, that's a whole nother, again, that's a personal situation, depending on how many people you have in there. You now have the ability to maybe make whatever is already in there for you. So there's a lot of potential for you in the different streams of income under this one umbrella. If you just tap into the different ones, your individual situation can be something just really lucrative. But again, you have to put in the work. But great session, Tawana. I think this was absolutely awesome. And for those that stuck in for the duration of the whole meeting, I'm going to reiterate what India said. I hope that you really receive this, because this is a blessing that Tawana, again, did not have to share with us. Like she said, this cost several $100s. And I know for a fact I would have not purchased it. I didn't have the means to do so. But, again, the fact that she's willing to share it with us, take her time out, once again, to share this information and answer the questions, we really have to just be grateful and, again, not take it for granted, because you're not going to get this, honestly, with any other team or any other business for that matter. So thank you, Tawana. I want to personally say thank you.
You're welcome, baby. Okay, so let's talk about the homework assignment. So we watched the video. We heard him talk about, I don't know what just went across the screen. So We heard him talk about preparing and everything. What I want you guys to do is, out of everything that you heard, I want you to have a family meeting tomorrow before we meet tomorrow evening. I want you to get your family's buy-in. So if you have a family, which I'm sure you do, most people on this line do, if you have a boyfriend, a spouse, I don't care what it is, kids, if you're a single mom with children, get their buy-in. That's what I want you to do. So tomorrow, I want you to have a family buy-in, have a family meeting, and when we do our training tomorrow, because tomorrow is about setting appointments. Tomorrow, he's going to teach you how to do this text blast. And you can't have distractions. So tomorrow, so what I want you guys to do between tonight and tomorrow is figure out a way to eliminate all distractions and have a family meeting. That's all I want you to do. And then what we'll do tomorrow before we start module 2 is I just want you guys to comment on what you did, how the meeting went with your family, what distractions you're eliminating. And I want your guys' commitment to start this on, when is September 1st? Friday, right?
Yes, Friday.
What's that following Monday? This one we're going to go live, that following Monday.
Oh. The following Monday is the 4th.
The 4th. Okay, so I'm thinking as a team, because we have 40-some people here that hung in there. And I appreciate
That's Labor Day, just so you know. That's Labor Day, just so you know. Some people may be out of town. You know how that is. 3-day weekend.
This is business.
I feel you, baby. I'm with you.
No excuse.
I'll be right here.
No excuses.
I'll be right here.
It's either eating ribs on the grill or making money.
That's right.
All they're gonna do is cook out. So unless you got like a emergency or something like that, but I feel like on Monday we can launch this. So we're gonna do the training Monday through Friday, so that you guys know exactly what to do. Then on Monday, we're going to start our 3 10-day segments. Okay? And you guys remember what he said, right? The first 10 days is all about presentations. The second 10 days is all about follow-ups. And the third 10 days is all about closing. And he's going to cover that a little more.
Tawana, you have Shannon Phillips. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Shannon Phillips said, thank you guys for taking up the time to do this. It is really appreciated, but what if someone has already done the meeting with the family?
Wonderful. Then you could be our guest speaker tomorrow, sharing how it went.
Put you on the spot. That's what a Tawana would do.
That's what I love. So Shannon, great job, because that's the number one thing. So if you've already done that and it's been a huge success, or maybe it wasn't, it'd be great if you can share that with us tomorrow. Because it may, she said, oh my God. It may motivate others, so, or just type and we'll read it, however you want to do it. That's huge, you guys, having a family meeting. That's what most people forget. They start their business, they don't get support, and then they stressed out. And then they try to have the meeting with their family 6 months to a year down the line. You got what they want.
I'll share my experience, Shannon, if you feel a little funny, because I actually did it while we were sitting on this webinar. I literally, my mate is sitting next to me playing his little game, and I literally repeated what Mr. Worry said to me. He said, I forgot the exact words now, but I said, would you give me the grace and the space? That's what I said. Would you give me the grace and the space for these 30 days to get this done so that we could be better off? And he looked at me and he said, do what you got to do, baby. I got you. Now, it may not be as simple for others because you may have kids or your man may not be as understanding, but you'll never know what that answer is unless you approach him and at least make sure you're explaining to him the reason behind it, not just to say, I need this time. I'm gonna come home and not cook. And, let him know that you're investing yourself into something that can possibly be lucrative for the whole family and that can put you guys in a better position.
Mm-hmm. And if I can add something to that, you guys, we know most of the businesses web, and I know we got some fellas on this line, so you guys can probably do thumbs up if you agree. But listen, women, our men get jealous. If you at home and you on a laptop all the time, right? You on a laptop 24/7, you on the phone, or you like, let me step outside, I gotta do this call. They get jealous. You are taking time away from them. So you gotta respect them enough to say, hey, this is my plan, this is what I'm gonna do. It ain't no other boo, it's all about you. That's what you gotta instill in them. And they will support you 100%. But if you don't do that, and then all of a sudden you're on the computer 24/7, they peeping trying to see what you're doing, and then you outside in the front yard on the phone talking about you doing a three-way, they don't believe that because you need their buy-in. Ruin your marriage, it's gonna ruin your relationship. So just have that meeting on the front end so you don't have to deal with all of that. And I promise you, it'll work out. Trust me, I learned the hard way. It took me forever. I just started the business. I didn't say nothing.
Good. And look, you know what I would do, Tawana? I would literally sit right here while he watching his TV or whatever and do my three-way so he can hear my conversations. Because you're right, men are just that way. And if you walk out the room constantly, especially if you're talking to a male prospect, they're going to feel, okay, why are you walking out the room? Make it easy. Sit there in front of him. Let him see you grinding. Let him see you hustling, that you're not playing around. My mother sees me on Facebook and she thinks I'm on Facebook playing. No, look at my page. I'm doing business. So as long as you keep it as an open book, and even you may even get him interested to join you. And when you got a power couple going on, I mean, look, we got double diamonds representing us. Get his buy-in to get in. Never mind buy in for your time. Let him get interested in it. That's what I'm trying to do. Anyway. All right, I'll shut up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
All righty. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end this. We got 4 minutes left. We can see if we have any other questions. But other than that, you guys, this timing was perfect. We're ending it right on time. Yay. Thank you guys. It would not have been this great if you guys wouldn't have joined the leadership panel with me. So I appreciate you guys so much. Do we have any other questions on here? No? All righty. Well, God bless everybody. Get your homework assignment done, and we will start this again tomorrow. Tomorrow is all about filling a funnel, which is appointments. So have your calendar available and have your testimonies as it relates to having that meeting with your family. Okay?
Print the book.
Yes, print the book. If you got ink like India, print the book.
Y'all better go to work and use them people ink.
You know what I'm saying, girl? You better ask somebody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming out. God bless.
And good night.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Look, Alyssa, you so late, Alyssa. Go on somewhere, teacher.
County ink. We're gonna record.
Yeah, we telling. APS.
Bye, y'all.
Can't hear you. Good night. Thanks, Tawana.
Bye-bye. Love y'all.
I said tell it.